Police have confirmed 2 people were killed from what Baton Rouge police say was a targeted shooting.
4 o'clock, multiple people have been shot near the Mall of Louisiana this afternoon.
2 people are, 2 others are at the hospital right now getting treatment here.
We want everybody here in the community to know that this is a targeted shooting.
TrueBleeda, aka Donte Dorsey, was born and raised in Baton Rouge. Donte was a rising star in BR's rap scene, with nearly 2.7 million views on YouTube and a growing fan base. He was sometimes compared to NBA YoungBoy because of his young age and because of their similar sounds. His lyrics included lines like, "Quick to pass away for my respect, I'm nothing like these other people." At the beginning of 2022, TrueBleeda spent a lot of time away from home doing shows. His last video, Soul Survivor, was released on February 22nd, just 3 days before his tragic passing. But the day before his life was tragically cut short, TrueBleeda returned from Atlanta to his roots in Baton Rouge. On the morning of February 25th, 2022, TrueBleeda had a show. Afterwards, TrueBleeda, along with 2 of his friends and his brother, CoBleeda, decided to visit the Mall of Louisiana. It was supposed to be just a chill day at the mall, haircuts to freshen their look, with some shopping for new clothes to show off their sense of style and success. But as the hours passed, a sense of unease crept into CoBleeda's head. Baton Rouge, despite its large population, has few very gathering spaces, so the likelihood of running into ops was high. Harley was aware of the danger that often followed successful rappers on the streets and felt that the group had been in the open for too long. However, TrueBleeda and their friends did not share CoBleeda's anxiety. So, the group disregarded his words of caution. The group continued their day, unaware that they were being watched. It was around 1:30 p.m. when the small crew got into a 2012 Chevy Malibu to prepare to leave the mall. They had only made it to the exit of the mall parking lot when shots rang out. Emergency responders swarmed the intersection of Bluebonnet Boulevard and Picardy Avenue. By the time they got there, the car was covered in bullet holes. The shooters had left their damaged vehicle behind and fled in another car. TrueBleeda and one of his friends, Clifton Lindsay, passed away at the scene. The other 2 were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. In the wake of the hits occurring in broad daylight, Baton Rouge was left in a state of shock and mourning. Baton Rouge recorded 149 hits in 2021, with more than 24 hits occurring via drive-by shootings. And the city had set an annual homicide record several times in a few years before the shooting. So for many, this shooting seemed to confirm that public spaces were becoming unsafe. But the Baton Rouge Police Department described the shooting as targeted and highly planned. After hearing about the hits, Mayor-President Sharon Weston Broome gave a statement saying, "Today, we have seen yet another troubling episode of gun war shake the core of our community with the shooting along Bluebonnet Boulevard this afternoon. Baton Rouge residents deserve to live in a community of peace. I am confident as we band together, we as a community can overcome these challenges for a better future." On March 9th, 2022, just over a week after his tragic passing, the Baton Rouge community gathered to bid farewell to TrueBleeda. His farewell service was held that morning at 10 a.m. following a private viewing. Family, friends, and fans came together, united in their grief and their love for TrueBleeda. The young rapper who had celebrated his 18th birthday just weeks before was remembered not for a life he lived and the impact he had on those around him. Fans and friends posted on social media mourning TrueBleeda's talent and amazing music. In a series of heartfelt interviews, TrueBleeda's girlfriend, Asia G, opened up about her grief. She spoke about the impact of his loss on her life and their shared dreams in music.
Everything, I made everything about him. Every song on my EP was...
Rapper Harley Ken also spoke about the loss of TrueBleeda. Harley and TrueBleeda had traveled all over the world together, doing shows. He described TrueBleeda as a young man who worked hard and was a natural leader. Harley said that TrueBleeda was like a son to him, although he said he didn't treat him like much of a son. Harley went on to say that he had actually sent TrueBleeda $200 the morning he passed away because TrueBleeda had mentioned he was going to buy some shoes. Harley had no idea that TrueBleeda was going to the mall to get the shoes, but he had a bad feeling in his gut. Harley didn't tell TrueBleeda what to do and regretted it. His collaborator, Lil Trench, expressed his loss in a few posts following TrueBleeda's passing. In one, Lil Trench wrote, "Love you, little brother." He remembered TrueBleeda on his birthday in 2024, sharing kind words about him on social media beside a photo. TrueBleeda's untimely passing also sparked a conversation about the risks faced by rising stars in the music industry, particularly in genres like hip-hop, where personal feuds and rivalries can escalate into gruesomeness. TrueBleeda often moved around with a small group of friends and associates. He rarely, if ever, hired professional bodyguards or security personnel. Some believe he made himself a target by going to basically the only social spot in Baton Rouge to do his shopping instead of browsing online or utilizing a personal shopper. The Baton Rouge Police Department's investigation into TrueBleeda's life led them to a group called the Vultures that was involved in the shooting. This was because the Bleedas and the Vultures had a long-standing beef with each other. But who are the Vultures and the Bleedas? Let's start with the Bleedas. On March 29, 2014, Donte Dorsey was shot and hit. After that, his younger brother, co-Bleeda, and TrueBleeda started a rap group called the Bleedas. They were all from the Glen Oaks neighborhood, which over the years had become known as one of the most crime-ridden areas in the city's north side. Across the highway, in Bankstown and Scotlandville, another group formed the Vultures. While members of both groups had been friends when they were kids, the many rivalries and hits had broken them up and put them on opposite sides. On December 2nd, 2021, NBA Ben 10 and his cousin Jug were confronted while driving from New Orleans to Baton Rouge on I-10. Jug was hit. Following this, the Bleedas posted on Instagram and released songs about Jug's passing. This led the Vultures to believe the Bleedas were involved, escalating the rivalry to all out for each other. Investigators considered this chain of events the public taunt and the pattern of ongoing viciousness between the groups, and concluded that the shooting of TrueBleeda was a retaliatory act by the Vultures. But it would take almost 2 months for the police to make an arrest. On April 14, 2022, Demondrion Grimm, known as Dubug, was taken into custody and charged with the hits of TrueBleeda and his friend, Clifton Lindsay. Detectives wrote in arrest documents that Grimm and others tailed them from a vehicle that they later ditched. Some of the documents is hidden from view. Blacked out paragraphs hide clues that police used to track Dubug, which will hopefully be used for future suspects and arrest. The drive-by shooting was on Friday, February 25th. Inside the abandoned car, police found a significant amount of DNA. Police identified a DNA profile and had a search warrant approved for Dubug by the next day. But Dubug wasn't swabbed for DNA until a month later, when he was arrested on other charges on March 29th. DNA confirmed a match on April 8th, and he had hit charges added on Thursday, April 14th, to the others he was facing for unrelated crimes. The investigation into TrueBleeda's hit remained active, with police hinting at the possibility of future arrest, but no other arrests have been made since. The community, still reeling from the shock of the daylight shooting, viewed the arrest as a crucial step towards justice, and following the widespread news coverage of the hits of someone so young, Baton Rouge seemed to go through a significant shift. The city's homicide rate, which had been a persistent concern, began to decrease. In 2022, the number fell to 115, and the following year, it dropped even further. TrueBleeda's unexpected departure from this world left friends and fans grappling with the profound loss. His legacy lived on through his music, the memories shared by those who loved him, and in the hearts of his brother, TrueBleeda. Rest in peace, TrueBleeda.